The technology that we use, the drip irrigation, the greenhouse, comes from Israel. Israel is a very, very small country, the size of Tsavo West, 21,000 square kilometers. So to Israelis like us, when we stand in a land the size of Kenya, with the amount of water and capable farmers, we imagine the amazing transformation that we can go through, not only in the next year or two, but Madam Odinga, in the next 5 and 10 years, when we look to the future of Kenya, and we look at how we empower Kenyan farmers, and how we can take the produce that we are selling today, healthy produce, organic, and create a market so that when the world looks at Kenyan grown, they look at it as a stamp of quality. Not as something that we look at Europeans or Americans and say, can we please get into your market? But rather something where they chase us and say, can we please buy your produce? And then we'll sell it to them at a good price. A couple of years ago, we were joined by a wonderful group of people, African Boreholes Initiative. Probably the best at what they do in the world. Many people say that Dimona, where they're from, in Israel, has become the mecca of organic farming in the world. People come from all over the world to learn from them. And we were blessed to have them as our partners, as our guiders, as we took the Amiran Farmers Kit technology, the greenhouse, the drip, the sprayers, the training and the extension service that we've brought to Kenya's farmers, and helped us to change and make it also into a second sister kit, the Organic Farmers Kit. I want to invite to say a few words, and he inspires me when I hear him speak, so I'm sure he'll do the same for you. The head of ABI, Prince Emmanuel Ben Yehuda. For those of you who don't know, Emmanuel means God is with us.
And I always say, I'm glad he is. First of all, I'd like to give all honor and praise to the God of creation for blessing us to be here together safely today. And I pray that all of us enjoy our experience here together and our return safely to our homes and our families and our extended families. Good morning. Good afternoon. Madam Ida Odinga, honored guests, who I won't try to name them all because Gilad has the list. First of all, thank you for honoring us with your presence and continue to convey into the nation the importance of this moment. I have to say something. I have to start with a story here. Many years ago, growing up in Israel, our father, and Mr. Yadiel will remind me, used to take us out on the land. And he would tell us, love the land, and the land will love you in return. And then he'd put us in the car, and he'd say, repeat after me. And I want all of you to repeat after me. We love the land.
We love the land.
We love the land.
We love the land.
And the land loves us.
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 So we love the land.
So we love the land.
Now, when you love somebody, you got to say it like you mean it for them to get the message. But he was implanting within us an ideal at a very young age that we didn't fully understand. We thought it was funny. We thought it was cute. But as we grew, we realized he was putting into us some very important and lasting principles. Because when he says, and he used to have a little more story to go with it, he would say, you have to treat the land like a beautiful woman. If you care for her, she will yield unto you the treasures. And we would say, what are the treasures of the land? The vitamins, the nutrients, the enzymes that cause you to live life more healthily and abundantly. So, as we grew, we understood now, scientists began to give us more information. They said that plants had an intelligence. That if a person came into a field with the improper attitude, as you said this morning, Madame, and he caused some harm to the plant. The plant remembered, and the next time that person entered through the grounds, that plant reacted negatively. But likewise, the person who comes in and talks to the plant and cares for the soil and nurtures it and cares got a different reaction altogether. So we came to understand that love the land meant that that mother who cared for that soil, who got one of the highest quality produce to feed her family and ensure their vibrant physical and mental development, love the land got her what she wanted. That love the land meant those policymakers who were looking for long-term, genuine food security and wanted to take care of the soil and grow the highest quality produce and make the strongest national population. Love the land got them what they wanted. Love the land got that farmer who wanted the highest return and for his quality produce to ensure the long-term economic sustainability of his family. Love the land got that farmer what he wanted. So we have a whole string of reasons to say, we love the land.
We love the land.
Oh, come on now. We love the land.
We love the land.
We love the land.
We love the land.
And the land loves us.
The land loves us.
So we love the land.
We love the land.
I'm so grateful for my dad. But I also must say how grateful I am for the team that we're a part of. Gilad mentioned them by name. Again, first of all, my own team, the ABI team, the agriculture team led by Minister Yadiel, and the Borehole team led by Shalagat Leoba, who's sitting there trying to be quiet and unnoticed. But she's quite a dynamic woman and must be recognized. But also the Amiran family. And I must give special credence to Yariv Kedar, who is the head of the agro division. And I have to tell another little story, because I think you can tell how passionately we feel about organics and its essentiality in terms of ensuring our longevity here on the planet. And when we met Yariv 2.5, 3 years ago, I felt the same kind of genuine energy in terms of love for people and caring for what happened. It wasn't just about selling a kit. It was about how these farmers are going to make it. And I felt that, and so it was one of those times we had to lead with our hearts. You know, we look for those times when you can put everything else aside and just lead with your heart. And Yariv, ever since we've come together, I have not regretted that a second. So I want to thank you and the Amiran family, Mr. Pinkas Moskovitz and our David, CP Balton Group. This has been the kind of union that I know that not just Kenya is going to benefit, because now Kenya establishes a standard for the world. We're not looking someplace else for leadership. It's starting right here at home. So all of our students at New Dawn School and those who you come in contact with, your families, you don't have a problem with being first. Don't be shy about being first and being the one that you are, that the world is following you to find out what you know. Because what you have is valuable, what you have is good and worthy of sharing. I want to thank you for this moment, and let us all be grateful that God has blessed us to be here together and given us this opportunity to share in establishing of a new standard, for Kenya, and a standard that can be shared throughout the world. Thank you very much.
I told you he was inspired. Can we try that one more time?
We have seen growth. We have seen God attending our path. And I want to go to a story that I read 2 days ago in Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 29, if any of you has a Bible in your phone, some of you do that, is a place that I found why we are here with Amiran. It speaks of how God has chosen to give Israel skill to produce land that will produce agricultural produce that will be known all over the world. How many of you have eaten an orange from Israel? I have. they're exporting to us. And yet, like you heard, their land is only 21 square miles. Kenya is 5,000 plus square miles, am I right? Therefore, to have partners in Amiran today, to me, is a miracle of God. And I want to appreciate the Amiran team because they've been persistent in teaching us how to farm organically. We want to thank God for you, that you brought these skills to us. And as Newton students graduate from this school, it's a very small school. We have only 160 students at any one time. But I can assure you, each one of our graduates that has left this school has gone on to do something useful for their community. We are very proud of our students.
Allow me to go to the Amiran Farmers Kit. Your influence to Newton, I don't know how I can describe it. I don't have the, I don't know how to put it, but let me say that it's electrifying, it's influential. From you, individually, I've been able to learn a lot of things. First of all, there's one thing I learned from you. It's a speculation from one of our former leaders some times back. From you, I've been able to learn that nature is very, very friendly. But also nature is very crucial if treated improperly. Amiran have applied the skills of organic farming. And from Amiran, we've been able to apply methods that will conserve our soil naturally, other than using the chemical means. Amiran have been able to supply seeds, certified seeds to our school, which we use in the greenhouse. Greenhouse has been very influential to our school also. It has been providing food, such as vegetable paper, as the teacher had said. It is not something that is just a speculation. It's something that you can even see from where you are, if you at all take a stroll in our school.
I think it's important to recognize the concept that we're talking about and not the named individuals. It's a great gift to have vision in the world. I think it's a very, very, shall we say, greater gift to have the confidence to support someone else's vision. And as far as gifts go, it is untouchable to be able to take the vision and the confidence and implement it. And that's what the team, everyone working together, all the partners, all the stakeholders have created here today.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'm very pleased to see you all. Madam Odinga, Aida, we are very honored to have your presence here, and the link of your personal link to the school is really something that is encouraging and nice to see. I'm not going to speak too long, but just I'm going to mention, as Prince Emmanuel, our partner and our friend, has mentioned, loving the land and the land loving us back is something that you develop and you grow with land. And these children, that they see that the agriculture is not only in the books, it's actually on the ground. It's actually seeing how the tomato, the flower, is growing, and there is pollination, and from this pollination it's developing to be a tomato. This is something that is not only in the syllabus, it's also something that they see and they relate to. So this organic kit, some of them will be organic farmers, some not, some will touch other things. But at the end of the day, the passion, you'll get it through this practice that you are seeing here. We are looking and engaging more and more students and young graduates in the work and to do the work and to learn, to teach others. And most likely the first graduates of this school will be trainers with African Boreholes Initiative and with us. They will be trainers after they get some more practice from us regarding how to teach other people for farming. Of course, we are we are here with our guests, and our guests some of our guests here are coming from the Organic Association here, and they are the ones that are bringing it to Kenya, and together we can change much more. I'll tell you, the whole concept of this Amiran Farmer Kit is that no one of us can do by himself the change. No one of us can eradicate poverty, but alone. But if we are looking together, what we are doing, empowering the youth, helping with many organizations.
My prayer is that let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be accepted in God's sight. Amen. Yeah, that's a common prayer. I know you all know it. All the people who are here for a purpose. And they're here because there's something they cherish concerning the Organic Amiran Organic Kit. And we've seen, I had the privilege, I don't know whether all of you did. I know you're all distinguished people. I'm glad that you're here. I can see the students. I can see the people in the village. I'm glad you're here. But I don't know whether you all had an opportunity to see what is going on right behind me or in front of you, just over there. And in there, there's a school with 4 classrooms, with 160 students. There's a little farm where they're keeping, I saw some cows. Maybe there are about 3 or 4 cows. There is a kitchen farm where they're growing sukuma wiki. Then there is the greenhouse over there where the tomatoes that we are going to buy just now after this are coming from. So in this small place, there's a lot of things. And I came with a prepared speech. I'm not going to talk about it because the speech was prepared before I saw what I saw. It has become irrelevant. Let me talk of what I've seen today. Sometimes from 1993 to the year 2003, I lived in Runda. A few walks from here, on a street called Daisy Street. Daisy Street is Street D. Those who come from Githogoro and those who come from Muji wa Huruma know that. And I was there for 10 years. My neighbors were people from this village and people from Githogoro, another village on the other side. I didn't make many trips to this village, but I made some trips, and the trips that I made to this village discouraged me from coming to this village because there was a state of hopelessness. A state of hopelessness. If you happen to come in the afternoon, nearly everybody would be drunk and tired. There was no school here, but there were very many children in the village who were going to Shaleta Primary School. Next to this school, of course, we have the posh Runda. In those years, if you are not living in Runda, then you are almost nobody. But side by side, there was affluence and there was poverty, to the extreme. But they coexisted. I know people try to help in one way or another, but nobody ever thought of having a school right here where these children could go to. Nobody ever thought of bringing the Amiran people here that could really change the lives of these people. Congratulations to you, Amiran, for bringing the school here. Congratulations for introducing me. When I came here, I saw one of the little boys I used to see. He's now a grown-up man, but he's doing something responsible. That aside, last year, was it the month of November? Just shortly before December, my dear husband took me to Israel. As I was growing up, I knew Israel when I was a little girl. I knew Israel, we were told it's on earth, but I also knew Israel was in heaven. Because there's this song that sings, Jerusalem the Golden. You know it, huh? Jerusalem the Golden. You know that song? Yeah. Now, in my translation, mother language, they don't talk of Jerusalem the Golden. They're talking about Jerusalem in heaven. I think the word golden disappeared when they were translating it, and instead of the golden, it became Jerusalem in heaven. So I grew up knowing that Jerusalem was in heaven. Now, the country that they describe here as a small country, it is actually small. But what they did not tell you is it is a desert. Actually, I went to Jerusalem, I went to Jericho, I went to Cana Galilee, I went even to the Dead Sea, I went many places. But what I saw were rocks upon rocks upon rocks upon rocks. It is actually a desert. That when you come to Kenya, and you look at Kenya, it's a very rich country. We have all the rain. I was told that the heaviest rainfall that they get is 500 millimeters. In Kenya, we know areas that are classified as 500 millimeters of rainfall are arid and semi-arid areas, isn't it? I can still remember the geography I used to teach Irene. They are described as arid and semi-arid. And then I looked at and I say, we have plenty of water. We have rivers. They have got only one river, River Jordan. Huh? But we have many rivers. We have rainfall. And then we have land. Sometimes our people fight because of land. They want to own as much land as possible, 100 acres, 10,000 acres, doing absolutely nothing. All what you need is a small piece of land to put your greenhouse to produce 10 times more what you'll produce in your 10,000 acres that produces nothing. And this, why am I saying this? We must change the concept, our thinking. It is not the large amount of land that will make you successful, but it is how you are going to use that small piece of land that you have. These students here are here, they can be fed from the little farm that is here. And you know, in some schools, they are almost going to rioting and almost going to almost closing because they cannot get food. And there's plenty of land in those schools doing nothing. So what am I suggesting? What is being done here at New Dawn, I wish it could be replicated in many more other schools in Kenya. Because if that is done, then surely the children will be able to eat well, but they will also be able to learn well. That brings me into something else. And that brings me into the health of our people. When we talk of food, we think of health of our people. In my work, day-to-day work, I've learned certain things. When I stopped being a teacher, I'm working, doing all sorts of things with the people. One of the things that I've come to learn is that in Kenya today, the children who are being born, all the way to age 5, 39% of those children are suffering malnutrition, undernourishment. Not because they don't eat, but because they are being fed wrongly. They are being fed wrongly. And where does this start? It starts with their mothers. From conception to the time when the child is 2 years old, if the mother doesn't eat properly, they end up getting children that are underweight. The children become underweight because the mother is also underweight. And when a baby born who is underweight, if that baby is not fed properly with food like what we have on the table there, the child becomes stunted. And stuntedness is irreversible. It doesn't matter how much more you try at a later age to feed them. It doesn't matter how good teachers you bring in to teach them like me. Still, the child would not make it. And I know you have people here who understand this topic very well. That is why it is important that as we think of the organic food, we must also think about it in terms, first of all, in terms of how we are going to feed ourselves and our people. Our people must eat right in order for them to be healthy. A healthy body is a fortified body. Many times, the children die before they are even 5 years of age because of the feeding. Any disease that comes around, diarrhea, malaria, cold, cough, anything, resides in those children because their bodies are weak. But if you feed them properly, like the children now of New Dawn, look at them, very healthy. You'll not hear that they are what I call, I didn't come to school because I had a cold, I had a cough, or I had stomachache, or I had whatnot. They come to school regularly, from the first day of the term to the last day of the term, and that also goes to improve them intellectually. The teachers find it easy to teach children who are well fed and who are fed correctly than to teach children who are undernourished, because very little will go in of what you are teaching. And for that reason, I would support this thing, the organic feeding, for good health, proper learning, education, for strength, they are also very strong, and for the future development of our nation. It is a great thing. The only sad thing is that we are only few people in this tent. I wish this talk was taken out on Uhuru Park, in Uhuru Park, where everybody could hear, because good things are happening here. Something good is here. Something good is here. And people come from all over the country. Who knows that you are here? Of course, I'll shout and say what you are doing elsewhere, but I wish more people could get to know this. And I wish this could reach the policymakers so that they know that we can transform this country. We can transform ourselves. We can change our mental thinking. We can change the way we live to learn that it is not the large amount of land, the pieces of land that you have that matters, but what you're doing with that piece of land. And you don't need a lot. We don't have to kill each other because of land, which we don't need and which we are not using. You only need little to get maximum out of it. And with those few remarks, I just want to say I'm thankful to be here. I'm very grateful. I like the training that you're giving the young people. And to see this go on, Amiran, I want to donate one greenhouse for two purposes in this school. One is for the purpose of learning, so that other schools also around here in Nairobi can come to New Dawn to see what is happening. The other reason why I want to donate that kit is for the purpose of those who are already here, who have had the privilege to learn, to make money so that they can buy textbooks and other utilities that they need. And for that I support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May God bless you. And to the students, do your best. Be the best that you can be. And next time, God willing, and we come back again to see how far you've gone. Thank you and be blessed.
We love putting our hearts into the soil. And we love the soil because soil is a living entity. It believes, it can feel, it can hear. If you get there with your good attitude, it will respond. And you can see the response that we have gotten from our land or from the greenhouse. So our slogan is Kula, you mean Kuza, Kula, Uza. We have already done the first part of Kukuza and Tumekula, and now we are ready to give you what we have left. And I believe every one of us will carry a pack home. Carrying that one pack, you will have sponsored 2 or 3 students in this institution. Thank you for that. I also want to thank you so much, Mama Ida Odinga, for donating another greenhouse to us. It has been, other 2 greenhouses to us. It has been our prayer. Minister Yadiel has been hearing that from me. It is always my prayer when they come. Because right now, we could have given tomatoes and eggplants or capsicum or something else. And with that, we'll be in a good place of doing rotational organic farming here in this institution. And with that, we are going to help our people grow. And also we are going to know where you are, because you'll be coming to buy products from us and you'll be bringing to you if you wish us to bring them to you. So we are very thankful to you, Mama Ida Odinga. I also want to thank Amiran Kenya and also the director, Yaniv Kedeo. You've been here in Udon several times, just seeing what we are doing, and we are very thankful. We know how busy you are, but having secured that time to come and see what you are doing with your colleague, Christopher Nzuki, we are very thankful to you because you always come to see what you are doing, you interact with us, and I was very happy last time when you took me with your team to go and visit other farmers just to compare what we are doing. And I'm very privileged to stand before you and say that we have proved to be the best in Nairobi. And I'm very thankful to God to have given us that privilege. I would not want to forget those people who came because we were not in a position of being able to purchase that kit, but we had our dear friends from Denmark, the Danish embassy, led by Runda, who came and shared with us. We told them what we wanted, and they went ahead and helped us procure this thing from the Amiran, and they connected us with Amiran, Kenya. May they also receive our vote of thanks. We are very thankful to them. To all of us who are here, I want to thank you so much for being part and parcel of this wonderful and colorful ceremony of launching the first kit, organic kit in the world, as I heard it from Cleese and also from Gerard. I want to thank you so much for coming and helping us to at least announce to the country at large that organic farming can be done in Kenya. And as the principal said when he was giving his remarks, we've been hearing of cancer in this country. And last Saturday, very early in the morning, I was in a men's Bible club, and we had a specialist, a doctor, teaching us or training us what to do to prevent cancer. And it was a group of men. But as he was concluding, he said, we need to be very careful of what we are eating. Because when we eat food that are grown with chemicals, we end up putting all the chemicals into our system. And as the cells that brings cancer in our bodies continue to grow, those chemicals help those cells develop and they form a tissue. And when now the tissue grows and it is fully grown, it develops cancer which can lead to death. But with what we are doing here, with Amiran and all of you, that will help us save our country and save our lives. So I'm also very happy because of what we are doing with the organic farming in this nation and more in New Dawn Educational Center.